We're back.
We are.
As we said on It's Alive podcast, we took 1 week off and went missing for a month.
It was a Josh week.
Like I said, the sun was shining. It doesn't happen often here. It's pissing rain again. I needed to take that sunshine while it was
You
still
needed
there.
it.
We need to grab it while we could get it.
Back again tomorrow, so see you for another month.
No, it's raining again Monday.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry about it. And tomorrow to these people is today.
Well, that's true. It's nice today, so.
Because we made some changes again.
Mm-hmm.
But no, these are, I think the time off helped us kind of reevaluate what we're doing. Sometimes you get, it's that old saying of you're so far in the woods that you can't see the trees. Do you know?
Yeah.
And that was kind of what was happening was we were I was getting so bogged down by storylines that I was getting really invested in that I wasn't really paying attention to what we were doing on the outskirts. And I think when it dawned on me the most is when I think we did the kind of pilot version of what was going to be Double Freak Show.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to watch two movies in a very Joe Bob Briggs style where we were going to kind of comment on it in between and after and all that stuff. Instantly, we realized there was going to be a lot of issues when Spotify threw our episode instantly off.
Even though
Spotify.
it was, oh no.
Freaks turns out wasn't in public domain. And I was like, this is going to be a big fucking problem. Where we're going to only be able to cover movies from like the fucking 20s and 30s and 40s and maybe 40s. And then after that, it's going to get really fucking difficult. Because it gets complicated as well. Whereas I saw this kind of list where it was like everything before Dawn of the Day or Night of the Living Dead should be fucking open to us.
Yeah.
But the laws on copyright in America and the laws on copyright in Europe are two very different fucking things. So what we can release in America, we couldn't release over here. What we can release over here, we couldn't release over there.
Exactly.
And things started to get complicated. And I stopped and I just looked at you and I was like, look, between all the stuff we're already doing, we're already running every single day another show. I just don't have time for this Double Freak Show shit right now. We're going to have to put it on the back burner for a while.
Yeah.
So when we finally got like time to sit down and stop and fucking breathe and just take a minute, I kind of stopped and I was thinking, well, when you look at it this realistically, we're trying to drag in horror fans. We're trying to attract horror people.
Yeah.
We are trying to do that with a history show and a celebrity show while ditching the show about horror movies. I was like, this makes no sense. I know we enjoy talking about those subjects, but we were being bogged down by two shows that had nothing to do with the genre we were dealing with.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, look, those shows made sense if we were to do them as free Spotify shows that dealt with their own fucking, that were in their own ecosystem and not in a horrorverse fucking world. So like, this makes no sense. We should be ditching them to do the watch along.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we landed. But then there's another discussion that we've been having. I think we've kind of settled on what we're going to do now with that. But we were kind of like, how are we going to do this? Are we going to do a regular watch along like everybody else, which you can get from everybody else? And that's not what we like to do. I mean, the whole point of It's a Live podcast is it's an original podcast that we've taken everything everyone else has done and we're doing it combined to make something new.
Yeah.
And we kind of went with, all right, well, how are we going to do this? Are we going to do this in the Horrorverse? And I was saying that, Joe, was like, we got to kind of start looking at what we're doing and say, right, nearly everything has to be in character. Nearly everything has to be in Horrorverse. Obviously, Horrorverse Headlines deals with movie, but behind the scenes of the episodes that we're doing, movie news and recommendations and stuff like that. So we get to jump out of character for that. And same with It's a Live action where it's a companion piece to what we just did, where it's a real life fucking thing. So they're outside the Horrorverse. Well, everything else should kind of sit within this universe that we're creating. This like wrestling. The wrestlers will play up their character all the fucking time, and that we should be doing something similar. So I was like, so realistically, if we're doing a Double Freak Show, or if we're doing what's now called a Friday Night Freak Show, which is coming up next Friday with the first episode, we're probably going to have to stay in character for it. We're going to do it in a Horrorverse, in our style. It's the Live Alive podcast style, where we're going to get a piece of video, watch it. 1 week we're going to watch some random paranormal videos and see what we believe and dissect them a little bit. And the second week we will take a movie, most likely a found footage or a mockumentary movie, and we're going to treat it like it's a real piece of found footage, and we're going to talk about it and go through it as if it's real, and play it up. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it was that realization even this week, because I was still kind of working on. That's why we didn't start it this week, because I was still kind of like, how the fuck are we going to do this to be different? And it was funny that it just happened to be a week where I've been talking to this guy on Instagram for a few weeks. I basically saw this guy called Michael Rock had this new movie out called I Hate Found Footage, and had puppets in it. And I was like, oh, I want to see this movie. And I commented under one of these things, like, oh, this seems awesome. So ever since then, he started following me, I started following him, and he started commenting on some of our stuff. And I was talking to him during the week. He was like, do you want to watch the movie? I was like, fuck yeah, I want to watch the movie. Send it over. And we watched it. And as we were watching it, you and me were kind of talking, and we're like, holy shit. Our podcast is a found footage podcast. We take stuff that shouldn't be real and we talk about it as if it's actually real. Fucking real. Yep. So essentially we're audio found footage. We should be leaning more into this. So we're kind of going to focus a lot more on found footage. And what's awesome is what I didn't realize. And we're probably late to the fucking party on this one. Because we get so sucked into what we're doing over here. We don't pay attention to what's going on around us a lot of the time. And I didn't even realize that there was an entire fucking subscription service based just on found footage.
There is.
Found TV. And you know what's fucking really cool about this app? Really, really fucking cool about this app is you can pay for the subscription, which is dirt fucking cheap. It's like $5 a month.
Yeah, it's cheap enough. Like,
you know, it's really cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody that's selling a load of content to you for $5 a month. Holy shit! Who else would think of doing something like that? Check out the Horrorverse Network on Patreon. $5 a month, 7-day free trial. But they also offer a free version where you can watch the movie with ads.
Oh, that's
fucking
good.
amazing.
That is
so
good.
You don't actually have to pay for it. They'll make their money through the adverts, but you could pay and have a specialized service where you get a few extras and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, fuck me, this is a wealth of fucking content for us. This is where we should be looking. This is what we should be doing. Yeah. And we're going to lean a bit further into that. And on top of that, so we've gotten rid of Celebrity Rap Sheet and Playing with Phones for now. There might be side projects on the road outside the Horrorverse, but right now they're not in the Horrorverse. So we're focusing on on the Friday Night Freak Show.
Yeah.
I've dropped the Friday Night Freak Show. It was too much of a mouthful.
Friday Night Freak Show.
I was falling all over Friday Night Freak Show.
I can announce it. It's the
Friday Night Freak Show. The freak part is enough of a change to the fucking title.
So you could just skip over that T, Friday Night Freak Show.
Anyway. So from now on, the two replacements are the Friday Night Freak Show and...
You just did it.
No. I'm playing Slay with Bunny Rose on Twitch and Patreon with an extra hour on Patreon, which is going to be playing Slay After Dark. So from 10... So this is our schedule from here on out. Monday from 10 till 1 a.m. Irish time, Greenwich Mean Time, we are doing Playing Slay with Bunny Rose, featuring Dr. Smokenstein.
You won't see him.
I'll be a disembodied voice floating in and out in the microphone. We're going to do it. It's going to be fun because we're going to kind of look for crazy news stories, you know, like ridiculous fucking bullshit, like that people have gotten in trouble for.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of talk about stuff we're watching, stuff we're having fun with at the moment. And just it'll be a bit more back and forth banter and chat and just us kind of chilling and talking. And obviously it'll be live, which means people can chime in and we can talk back to them and have a bit of a chat with them, and you'll be playing your video game while we're at it. So that'll be from Monday onwards. I'm looking forward to that. And on Monday we also have Mini Monsters come out.
Dope.
Tuesday will be Real Talk, which is more of a mini-sode. Now, I was doing a kind of rushed 5 reviews kind of thing where I was doing like 5 mini reviews really, really fucking quickly. And this week I did Faces of Death, the new one, as one total review. And I kind of went a bit deeper and it ended up as long as the 5 short ones. And I think that's a better way of doing things. That's why I've dropped the review from the Horrorverse Headlines as well.
Okay.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Wednesday, Unchanged, It's Alive podcast.
Yeah.
Thursday, Unchanged, It's Alive Action on Patreon. Friday will now be the Friday Night Freak Show. And Saturday will be the day the Horrorverse Headlines drop. And Sunday, then you have the photo drop by Bunny Rose on Patreon.
Yep.
So all those nice little pictures she drops over the week on Instagram. Just a tease for what's popping up on Sunday. But Horrorverse Headlines, we're not changing much about the Horrorverse Headlines. Mainly, we're going to kind of come in every week now with kind of a more behind the scenes, explaining certain aspects of what we did on It's a Live podcast every week, you know, because sometimes we kind of just shoot off. Like this week, we did Harry and the Hendersons.
Mm-hmm.
And we did fucking an hour and a half before we actually started talking about Harry and the fucking Hendersons.
Sure did.
So, I mean, I thought stuff like that might need a bit of explaining. Because people were like, who the fuck are Wrightwood and LaFleur? And why are they in the Patterson and Gimlin tape? And it was just like, you know, we obviously have to find real life grounded fucking parts.
Yeah.
To use to make the movie seem more realistic. And the thing about Harry and the Hendersons is it was really well researched to the point where all the characters do fit. They are like an amalgamation of all these cryptozoologists who were Bigfoot fanatics. Like
Yeah.
we talked about. I'm not going to get too deep into it because we already did it on It's a Live Action. So you can check that out on Patreon. Or we went into the different types of fucking Bigfoot from around the world, and then we really went into the Patterson Gimlin tape and talked about that in depth. And at the same time, we were kind of pointing out what we were doing on Harry and the Hendersons at the same time. But Harry and Henderson's doing really well this week for us.
It is.
So, I mean, it was a good choice. So yeah, we'll do kind of more behind the scenes, do our usual news, and instead of the reviews, we're going to do recommendations.
Okay.
Tell people what we've been watching that week. Talk about what we're watching that week, and get into things that way. Now this week we're going to go a little bit quicker than usual because we're under pressure. We're late. We're always fucking late. We won't be anymore because I'm kind of ahead now with the scripts again. I know what's coming over the next few weeks. The next few weeks are going to be a lot of fun for me. I don't know about the rest of you. But I'm going to enjoy it.
Stop making me dread it.
No, come here. I actually think you're going to like it a lot more than you think. Because we're going...
I mess with you when I say that I'm dreading it.
I know. But the thing about it is, right, this is an alien story, but it's not alien in the way of high tech.
Yeah.
Or you know, like fucking aliens coming down interfering in our world and stuff like this. This is really your wheelhouse. This is history. And it's history in the sense of we are talking about politics. We're talking about religion. We're talking about how the two mix to create war. And that's essentially what this whole story is fucking about.
Yeah.
The repetition of a fractured religion mixing with fractured politics and causing constant descent in a galaxy far, far away.
A long, long time ago.
And exactly, that's the history aspect of it, Amy. It's a long, long time ago.
I was just telling them when the history's set. It's not a long time ago. It's a long, long time ago.
Really, we're not really getting into like alien fucking creatures here. We're getting into politics. We're getting into like how these wars come about and how they happen and how it happens over 25,000, 35 years.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fucking crazy one. But so that's kind of where we're going to be going for the future. We're going to lean more into what we are supposed to be fucking doing, which is horror.
Yes.
Everything horror all the fucking time. Even though I suppose next week is sci-fi and last week was more kind of family-friendly cryptozoology.
Oh, let's just cut the next 4 weeks.
But you know what I mean.
Fine. We just skip on to something else.
We're going with that kind of style.
Yeah.
More found footage kind of style.
Yeah.
Because I think realistically, because we have been constantly trying to find a way of explaining to people what we do, and a lot of the times I just tell people we're a mockumentary podcast, crime mockumentary podcast, but we are essentially like the audio equivalent of a found footage movie, where we're discussing stuff that we claim happened, and we're discussing it with you and telling you about it as if it's a real fucking thing. And found footage horror is essentially the most real way of making a horror movie.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, it's the easiest way to completely suspend disbelief, to completely leave the kind of thing. There's no special effects
like
in your
finding
face.
an old diary.
Yeah. It's bonkers shit that you
Yeah.
don't believe. No, with the exception of the one we watched this week. I mean, I hate found footage.
You mean that's not based on a true story?
It's awesome. It's like a spoof kind of found footage movie. And
Yeah.
it's funny because halfway through you said something to me about the found footage genre, and I turned to you and I was like, we're not watching a found footage movie. And you're like, what? I'm like, well, as soon as those two puppets came on screen, this stopped being a found footage movie. This is a feature movie about two puppets going out to make a found footage movie.
But you're
who
only
end
getting
up
what's
making-
on the camera. Maybe it's really about two guys that like to stay in character all day, every day, and they're going out and they're method
fucking
acting.
dedicated.
And that's your own. That's why I only seen the puppets.
Do you know who's dedicated in that movie? The dead bodies. Those dead bodies were dedicated.
It would be really. I saw a smirk
I-
once or twice, but I would have been breaking my arse laughing if I was one of those dead bodies and they were over there. And
I know
spouting
that-
all that in front of me.
I've already mentioned it to him, so I know that I'll get most likely be interviewing him soon. So I'll have to ask him what were the outtakes like. Okay, is there a way of seeing the outtakes? I had
Yeah.
imagined they must that scene where the two puppets come across the dead bodies that were left behind at the campsite.
Are you dead?
That must have
So
been.
funny.
I'd say there must have been multiple takes there. There had to be.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was like, and that's the thing about it is, it's a really silly movie with really silly jokes, and I laughed at every stupid fucking
Oh, that
joke that
fish
popped up.
though cracked me up.
With the one about the tank.
Yeah.
Oh, what did one fish? What did one fish say? to
Two,
your fish in
two
the
fish
tank?
in a tank. One fish says to the other, "Do you know how to drive this thing?"
The one that made me laugh the hardest was when they're walking through because it's about two puppets who are making a found footage movie about Fishman.
Yeah.
And they're walking through the fucking thing, and the next thing, one of the puppets says to the other puppet, Ollie says to Filbert, he's like, you see the fish man? Where's the fish man? I think he's being a little coy with us. And I popped straight away.
That went over my
I
head.
laughed my ass off as soon as he started playing coy with him. I was like, fucking
Alright,
awesome.
Dad.
Great joke. What is it? It's like Sesame Street walking into a horror movie. It's
Oh, it's
hilarious.
class. I love that.
It's great. I can't wait to talk to them about it, to be honest with you. So, and that's the thing. Real talk will be it'll be reviews some weeks, and then other weeks, when I get an interview, it'll be an interview. Reviews will always be on Patreon. The interviews will always be free.
Yeah.
I'm gonna always hand those interviews out, so they'll come up as specials on Spotify and all the other apps every now and again when I get them. And I have 2 lined up now, ready to go. I've spoken to both of them in the last few days. I actually have to get back on to Michael Rock to tell him I've actually watched the movie. If he's seeing this is going to be the first time he knows that I've actually watched the fucking
I
thing.
love that.
Yep. We enjoyed
Highly
it.
recommend.
We enjoyed it, and it's an easy watch, and it's only an hour and a minute long. And the thing about it is, it's not in a bad, because I know a lot of times when people say it felt a lot longer, that's usually a bad sign.
No,
but
there
it
was
didn't feel like it was
no.
rushed.
No, it didn't feel like it was rushed.
The pacing
Yeah.
felt perfect. The timing felt. And then the thing about it is kind of taking the piss out of found footage in its own way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's making fun of the genre,
footsteps.
but in a very light-hearted
Yeah.
way. But then it plays up the whole kind of thing of, you know, found footage has these long sections of walking where nothing happens. And they do that. They just have long sections where it's just the two puppets riffing.
But
with
that
each
caught
other.
me because they were like, "Oh, he's there," and they were kind of freaking out, and I was like, "What are they looking at?" And I kind of went on for another few minutes. I was like, "Josh, what am I missing here?" And then it went over my head for a minute, and I was like, "Oh, that's true." But that's tell you, I was actually like drawing.
You get invested.
Yeah, I got
You do.
invested.
You
But
get
at the
invested.
same time, it would have been like me getting invested in a scary movie.
Which we'll be talking about in a minute.
Okay, cool. Nice segue, Amy. High five.
Well, not really. 'Cause
Oh,
it's
shit.
actually the bottom of our news list today because it leads into
Swap it
because
up.
I had it prepared as a segue into a recommendation.
So I had a segue for a segue.
Yep. So yeah, we'll get more into, because actually check out Real Talk this week on Patreon. That's what I'll be talking about. I hate found footage. That will be the movie that will be reviewed this week, and hopefully the week after I will have the interview sorted. But we will see how things go.
I think a found footage version of the next movie we're about to talk about though will be class. That'd be fucking creepy.
Yeah, well, again, look at the title I have on it. Don't hold your
I'm
breath.
not holding my breath.
So let's get into news. Ari Aster's written a Hereditary prequel. It looks like we might not be entirely done with the Graham family, or at least the shadowy cult that tore them apart. In a recent interview with Gold Derby, writer-director Ari Aster dropped a massive bombshell for modern horror fans. He has already written and completed a feature-length prequel script to the 2018 debut masterpiece Hereditary. Hot take.
You didn't like Hereditary.
It's not that I didn't like. No, to be fair, I've only watched it once ever.
Okay. I've only watched it once ever.
I've only watched it once ever because I found myself really bored watching it. But at the same time, it was before we started this podcast.
Yeah.
It was at a time where I was on a lot of medication that kind of dragged my attention span and made my attention span really short.
Yep.
And I used to not pay a lot of attention to what was on the screen in front of me.
All right, well, we got to throw it on again, so.
So I do. I have to watch it again.
It's a good movie.
I know it is. But all I can really remember is the girl's head getting fucking knocked off and then what's her name's fucking head going all crazy.
I don't think it's like Bring Her Home or Bring Her Back. I don't think it's like it, but I think if you enjoyed Bring Her Back, same tone, that's it. You'll enjoy Hereditary.
But and again, like I said, the thing is, I probably would like it. It was just at the time I wasn't as invested, and I wasn't really paying that much attention to it. And I think at the time as well, I was more into the idea of lighthearted. And even now, my taste in horror is more cheesy, schlocky, kind of fucking over the top gut score and how ridiculous.
Comedy.
Yeah, how ridiculous can we make this horror and still?
The more orange the blood, the better.
Yep. So when this came out, this was and let's face it, Hereditary is dealing with very serious tones.
Extremely serious. It's quite, it's sad, grief. Like it. Yeah, it is.
To the most part, and so.
And guilt.
And a lot of the time, it's very
heavy.
hard. You know this. It's hard to get me to sit down and watch a very serious, deep movie that's going to be emotionally fucking tiring.
I've been trying to get you to watch funny games for years, man.
Well, that was different at the time. I didn't like. See,
that is emotionally tiring because of how fucking tense that movie is.
Sometimes I don't mind that. I'm very weird this way. It's like sometimes I don't like. For someone who loves professional wrestling and horror movies, I hate the idea of real people getting hurt.
I know.
I hate the idea of real pain, be it emotionally or physically. So for me to watch something like Hereditary, I have to realize I'm going into something where there's no happy ending, where there's no over the top fucking effects to dumb the fact that this is a very serious
Hereditary great effects.
No, but I mean over the top.
Over the top, sorry.
Like
sawing off your own head.
No,
I'm
that's
joking.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whereas like I'm saying like found footage is like this one kind of style of horror where you get sucked into the point where you can feel like it's all real no matter how ridiculous what's happening because of the way
like
it's shot and because of the way people talk in it.
Yeah.
Hereditary, it feels like it's just. I feel like I can feel the tension before I even start watching it. I feel like I don't want to watch a movie that's going to make me feel shitty at the end.
It is a pretty tense movie. Like when they're sitting at that the dinner table and she turns around to the son and goes, or I blame you, or I love you, but I don't forgive you kind of thing. Like it's the most fucking anxiety-ridden family dinner I've ever seen in my life.
That's kind of why I haven't went back to it. But I will. I will watch it again. But I got some time because this doesn't seem like it's happening anytime soon. So as I'm about to say, so don't get too excited about King Paimon making. Is that the right pronunciation? Because like I said, I've only seen this movie once. A swift return to the big screen. There is a massive catch. Aster is in absolutely no rush to pull this script out of the desk drawer. Speaking about the project, he admitted it never feels like the right time. It's a prequel, not a sequel, so I don't know where this goes. The reality is that Aster's creative pipeline is completely jammed up with other eccentric projects. He is currently deep in development for his upcoming film Scapegoat, starring Scarlett Johansson. She seems to be in everything. She's in The New Exorcist and everything, which wrapped this week.
Cool.
And he is fresh off his polarizing pandemic-era dark satire, Eddington, which I haven't seen, but I've heard,
heard
good
great things about it,
You
and
know,
I have to watch it.
I know it's about like COVID and
Same
shit.
as Midsummer and Beau's Afraid. He's
So-
on a bit of a roll, I'd say.
Astor also got surprisingly candid in an interview about the trajectory of his career, venting some frustration over diminishing returns he's faced since he debuted. He noted that while he feels his filmmaking craft has significantly improved with Midsummer, Beau Was Afraid, and Eddington, none of them have captured the universal critical and commercial lightning in a bottle that Hereditary did.
That's because the head scene. Midsummer has a pretty disturbing scene in it as well, but Midsummer came after Hereditary. I think Hereditary had like that fucking head scene is just whew.
Yeah, but I hear a lot of people talk about fucking
Midsummer. Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet either, and I don't know why. It's kind of one of those ones I keep just kind of pushing off. It just sounds like a kind of
have to watch it this year.
Anytime I've heard about it, it just sounds like a Wicker Man knockoff. So
It's really not. It's really not.
So, and I love the Wicker Man.
I know you do.
Wicker Man's awesome. Anyway, for a filmmaker who prides himself on pushing bizarre, uncompromising creative boundaries, having a complete Hereditary prequel script ready to go feels like the ultimate break glass in case of emergency. So, if financiers ever stop funding his weird independent art house swings, that's when we're going to see this movie.
Guys,
when people
pull his funding.
Yeah. Stop going to these other movies or we're never going to see this.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Sorry, Mr. Astor.
Stick around. So, yeah, I mean, skip that shit. So, I mean, well, there is the point of, as well, because Toni Collette's acting is seen as a big part as to why Hereditary did so well.
Yeah, absolutely.
A Hereditary prequel would not involve her. This would be going back to the cult's origin.
There's other amazing actresses you could get.
So, but what the point here is, would it take away from it? It's like saying we're going to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre without Bubba.
Yeah.
You know?
Dirty Dancing
I know
prequel without Baby.
You know, I know I always harp on that what's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre without the Sawyer family, but it's kind of like you got to have all of them there.
Pretty much.
You can't take him out of it because that definitely ruins the movie. The same way they've ruined every fucking version of it since 4 because they've taken the rest of them out of it. Like, you know, giving them very, very tiny fringe parts at the start of the movie and that's it.
Yep.
So I don't know. Again, I'm pretty sure we will see this at some fucking point. But yeah, it seems like he is using it as like a kind of insurance fucking
that's smart. At least he's being
in case things go to shit, he needs to reprove himself.
Well, of course, Hereditary's got any of those movies that he has made. If he had a prequel or a sequel script ready to go, because of how well they all were received, that script is going to be snapped up. Surely,
part of the problem for the guy, because I've actually watched none of his movies since Hereditary. I haven't seen Beau Was Afraid. I haven't seen Midsummer. I haven't seen Eddington. I've heard good things about all three. I haven't actually heard anyone talk shit about any of them.
On my list for a long time.
I did know that Beau Was Afraid did bad commercially.
But looking at clips of it, it looks like a really good movie.
Joaquin Phoenix is good at playing a fucking psychopath, which we saw in Joker. You know, he's good at playing.
And going from the front of it, he plays a psychopath at many ages, does he? Or is he just multi-aged? Or
I thought it was a thing
just throughout his life. No, I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure. I don't even know.
Gotta watch it.
To be honest. Do you know what I want to see? Is that Joaquin Phoenix mockumentary he made about him going crazy. Do you remember he was going on fucking talk shows, absolutely bizarre, the big beard and the hair and the glasses and shit like that. I gotta see that.
That's why when I first found out that he was with Rooney Mara, I got a bit scared for her safety, and then I realized
it was a gimmick.
Yeah.
The ultimate fucking gimmick. I mean, it's fucking beautiful, but yeah. So here's one that guys will be happy about, but Bunny over here ain't so happy about. I don't know why. Sydney Sweeney heads to the Hollow. The classic Tale of the Headless Horseman is getting a high concept facelift. Deadline reports that Sydney Sweeney has officially signed on to star in a new reimagining of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
That phrase makes
me directed. That's literally in this next bit that I wrote. Written and directed by Lindsay Anderson Beer. The project has been in the works for a while. Originally conceived as a feature film before Beer decided to expand it expand the vision into a novel titled Hollow, which she sold to Penguin Random House. With the book deal now locked in for fall 2027 release, the feature film adaptation is officially on the fast track. This won't be a straightforward retelling of the 1820 Washington Irving story. Beer's vision is framed as a bold, contemporary reinvention, shifting the perspective away from the timid schoolteacher Ichabod Crane. Instead, the story centers entirely around Katrina Van Tassel. Rather than acting as a simple romantic prize for the male leads, his version positions Van Tassel. I assume that's Christina Ricci.
It is. Yep.
As the key figure in a dangerous supernatural mystery and a complex gothic love triangle. The tone is reportedly leaning into heavy atmospheric dread, psychological intrigue, and erotic thriller elements. Sweeney will be producing the project through her Honey Trap banner alongside Beers, Lab, Brew, and Lucky Chap. I didn't have that written on there. I did have it written originally that people get nervous around the word reimagining.
I've already gotten one shit fucking reimagining this year, and it pissed me off. And Wuthering Heights. And now looking at how this is, especially with the erotic thriller elements, it feels like a new Wuthering Heights reimagining, same tone as this.
Well, it's the same as what I said about fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I saw the word reimagining in front of it. Like, shit. And then I saw Curry Barker was doing it. I started looking at his stuff, and now he's like fucking the king of fucking horror movies since Obsession came out, and everyone loves him. So, and I've listened to him talk about what he wants to do with the movie, and it kind of made me feel a bit better about him taking over. But yeah, reimagining can scare people a little bit because it's taking something you've loved for a very long time and switching it.
Sleepy Hollow was my first kind of scary movie. Like, do you know that kind of way? I have an awful soft spot for it. It's I just love the story. I love everything about it.
Is it the fact that Sydney Sweeney's in it that it's putting you off?
I don't like Sydney. It's not that I don't like Sydney Sweeney. And maybe I'll think differently when I see her reimagined Katrina. But it's like the way, again, going back to Wuthering Heights, I like Margot Robbie, but I wouldn't have cast her as Kathy. It's just it doesn't feel like they fit the part or something.
I just feel like with Sydney Sweeney, maybe we're getting a bit kind of oversaturated. She's been in everything for the last. Yeah. I do love the way though that she completely gets her brand. Honey Trap Productions.
She fucking owns it, and fair play to her because she's gorgeous.
And she was good in the one that came out at the same time as First Omen, that was essentially the same thing as the First Omen. Was it Immaculate?
Immaculate, there we go. It? That's it. That's Immaculate.
It was it was basically the exact same thing as the First Omen.
Except she's a nun.
She was having she was on the religious side and the other one was on the Satan. But they came out exactly at the same time and it was really fucking weird. But look,
I will reserve judgment, but it's making me nervous. And I would point out as well that in Tim Burton's, Katrina Van Tassel isn't just a romantic prize.
No. I mean, you know me when it comes to, I find Sleepy Hollow to be kind of girl horror. You know,
it's gothic horror.
I find gothic horror to kind of be girl horror. And I don't mean that now.
You just spent the last week or two watching.
You had to convince me, and then I liked it. I did like it, and that's more because there was a lot more story going on there. We'll get into that.
It's not really gothic horror,
and that had a lot more of a different element to it.
Okay.
And again, I would rate the TV show a lot higher than I would rate the fucking movie.
And the movie definitely is gothic horror.
And the movie also involves Tom Cruise, which I fucking hate.
I think he's good in parts of that movie.
Turns me off a movie is seeing Tom Cruise in it. Minority Report just about slid
I
by,
loved
and
Minority Report.
That was in spite of him because he was shit in that.
What did you say? He's almost a good actor. Was it something along?
No, I literally said this movie is good in spite of his acting.
In spite of his acting is what you said. His acting
was terrible in it, but it was just because Philip K. Dick is a fucking genius that it fucking works.
He absolutely is.
The only other thing that would make people a little bit worried about this is Lindsay Anderson Beer's last venture into horror was Pet Sematary Bloodlines, which people did not really like. So let's just wait and see what happens.
Yes.
But on to something that'll make you happier.
Yay!
Evil Dead Wrath has wrapped filming. Not the one we're about to get, the one after it.
We're getting
has
two
already
more.
wrapped. Don't get too excited. You're still going to have to wait.
Okay.
The Necronomicon is staying wide open while the entire horror community is currently bracing for Sebastian Vicek's upcoming Evil Dead Burn to slash its way into theaters in July. So you do get one in July. The conveyor belt of blood and chainsaws is moving at an absolute breakneck pace behind the scenes. We have official confirmation that the next separate installment of the franchise, titled Evil Dead Wrath, has already completely wrapped principal photography over in Auckland, New Zealand. This entry is written and directed by indie genre breakout Francis Galuppi. If that name sounds familiar, it's because it absolutely blew critics away. He absolutely blew critics away with his tense, claustrophobic 2023 crime thriller debut, The Last Stop in Yuma County. And if that name doesn't sound familiar, it's because I probably butchered his surname.
Okay, that's yeah.
Okay. Sam Raimi reportedly watched that film, saw Galuppi's masterclass pacing and tight spatial tension, and immediately handpicked him to write and direct a brand new standalone Evil Dead story. Details on the plot are being kept under lock and key, but the cast list has been made public. It features Charlotte Hope, Jessica McName from Mortal Kombat, and the great Zach Gilford from Midnight Mass. The fascinating thing here is the release strategy. Even though the movie is fully in the can and heading into post-production, currently it is locked into an April 7th, 2028.
Just under 2 years. Bloody
release
hell. Okay.
Ghost House Pictures, New Line, and Sony are completely restructuring the franchise into a rapid-fire anthology system, banking entirely on fresh directorial voices, keeping the Deadite lore alive, while Bruce Campbell steps further into the executive producer role. No, we all know Bruce is sick, so there's a good reason for he's getting older, and he is a little sick at the moment. He's got cancer. He'll have it forever, but it's treatable, manageable.
Yeah.
He won't die from it immediately, but it's something he'll live with forever, but won't kill him.
Okay.
At least
not yet.
So yeah, again, we in our last episode, I believe, about a month ago,
talked about this,
about how I'm not overly happy about Evil Dead going into an anthology series, whereas you seem fine with whatever Evil Dead want to do.
Yep. I love Evil Dead.
Just like fucking throw the Deadites at me. It's cool. So yeah, but yeah, so we have one this year.
Yeah.
And then you gotta wait 2 years for the next one. Which, to be fair,
just under 2 years. It's not that bad.
To fucking shoot it now.
It'd be 2 years.
It'd still be
yeah.
No matter what. If you're getting a sequel to a movie, it's rare that you're gonna get it 1 year after the other. Unless you scream and you just shit about as quick as you can. And just throw anybody under the ghost face mask, because who gives a fuck who's under there, as long as fucking we get fucking the box office numbers. Hey.
Fuck's sake.
Not happy. Anyway. Another big one. Damien Leone's first big studio move. Tortures of the Damned. God damn it. The king of the modern micro-budget splatter film is officially moving into the Hollywood studio system. Lionsgate has acquired the rights to Tortures of the Damned, a brand new original horror project written, directed, and produced by Terrifier creator Damien Leone. If moving to a major studio wasn't enough of a leap, Leone is bringing a Mount Rushmore horror legend along for the ride. The film will be produced by Sam Raimi and Robert Tappert through their iconic Ghost House Pictures banner. Lionsgate and Ghost House are keeping the exact plot details locked tight under the Iron Curtain. Ooh, Russians. But early production sources have leaked two massive details. First, the project is getting a significantly heftier budget than the shoestring funding Leone used to bootstrap the Terrifier franchise into a global phenomenon, which will tell you that's big, because this guy's had no money and managed to pull off some really fucking cool movies.
Let's see what he does now.
You know?
Yeah.
So what's he gonna do with a real budget, you know?
And we know he can save some of that budget by doing the special effects himself, like.
Well, I know he didn't do the special effects himself in Terrifier.
Oh, did he not? Oh.
He wanted to be more hands-on.
Okay.
I think as he got bigger, obviously, you want to farm this stuff out a little bit so you can spend more time on the actual story and not be so bogged down by all that kind of detail.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to create jobs as well.
That's
while you're
true.
doing this, you know. Second, despite the incredibly brutal title, the film will reportedly strike a completely different tone from the relentless, mean-spirited slasher vibe of Art the Clown's Playground. Don't expect cameras to roll immediately, though. Leone has a strict contract to fulfill first. He is currently in pre-production for Terrifier 4, which is being framed as the definitive, batshit insane final chapter of his current slasher story arc.
Is it still in pre-production?
I know, we thought we were going to get it this year.
Yeah.
Next year is when we're seeing that.
Christ. Okay.
On the upside, I saw updates this week. We're definitely getting Return of the Living Dead in November. So,
yeah. Something.
It's a Christmas movie to get into. I mean, it'll be fun. I love Return of the Living Dead.
I
What do you call
know
it?
you
That's
do
an
only
awesome
messing.
fucking...
I said it's something. I'm saying, yeah.
So it isn't until Art the Clown is officially laid to rest that Leone will pivot his full attention to building this new nightmare for Lionsgate. And I would assume that because they keep saying it specifically, that this is the final chapter of the Terrifier arc, that there is plans for Terrifier to eventually.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say he'll go off, do a few more things, and come back in a few years.
Probably.
It, you know?
Definitely.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Leone's work when you have Hollywood studios telling him what he can and can't do this time. This isn't like Terrifier where he did it all by himself and
he's
didn't
got
have anybody
studios
telling
looking
him,
over his shoulder.
You can't do that. You can't. Non-rated. We can't have put out a not rated movie. That won't sell.
Hang her upside down and saw her in half. No way.
You want to kill her and keep playing with the body and then kill her mom? No. Yeah. So there's gonna be Sorry. Cut his butthole open right up in his penis. No. Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with his. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he does outside of the Terrifier universe. You know, all we know of Damien Leone so far is Terrifier.
Yeah.
You know, even the All Hallows Eve stuff was
Terrifier.
You know, it was art. It was just art that he's already.
I'd like to see more of that alien one part. That was All Hallows Eve, wasn't it? There was like an alien
where
thing.
The painting of art is there at the end.
Yeah, that was creepy.
It has nothing to do with the actual story. So, next story. Nicholas Winding Refn. What a weird fucking name to pronounce. Is finally making his Maniac Cop resurrection. A decade of development hell is officially over, and one of the strangest matches in horror history is finally locked down. Nicholas Winding Refn, the polarizing neon-obsessed author behind Drive and the Neon Demon. I want to see Drive, actually. I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah.
Has officially chosen to complete resurrection of William Lustig's 1988 cult slasher classic Maniac Cop as his next feature film, which kind of puts a fucking stop on what I was planning to do over the next few weeks. I had Maniac Cop on the list to do as a subject for fucking about a year now.
Well,
and I never got around to it. Now, kind of no point in doing it if they're going to fucking be updating it until I see what they do. This project has been morphing in the shadows for over 10 years. It was originally announced way back when as a movie directed by John Hames, before shifting into a high-profile television series development at HBO that ultimately stalled out. Now, Refn is stepping directly into the director's chair himself. Even better for the film's pursuits, the project is being fully financed and backed for a major global theatrical release by the indie powerhouse streaming studio Mumbai.
Movie.
What?
Movie.
Oh yeah, Movie.
Mumbai.
Sounds like movie. Makes sense. See, pronunciation. Can't do it. Cameras are officially scheduled to start rolling in Los Angeles in January. For anyone expecting a paint-by-numbers remake of Matt Cradell's original Rampage, guess again. Mumbai's CEO explicitly stated that this is not a remake, but a resurrection tailored entirely to Refn's hyper-stylized sensibilities. Refn himself teased the project as a cocaine-fueled, neon-soaked, bubblegum, rap, mayhem-infused universe. Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
That sounds like fun.
Yep.
He noted that the central iconography of the killer in a police uniform provokes an immediate, uneasy reaction in today's political and social climate, promising a radical new version where there is zero safety net. The news comes at a critical pivot point for the director. His first new feature film in 10 years, Her Private Hell, starring Sophie Thatcher and Charles Melton, just debuted at the Cannes Film Festival ahead of its July theatrical release, where it immediately split critics down the middle, with some calling it a visual masterpiece and others dismissing it as beautiful, slow-paced tedium. I'm always interested to see how the change from B movie to major studio movie goes with these
Yeah.
things, you know.
Yeah.
It's interesting just to see how they'll play it and how they'll work it. I mean, obviously, even with the majors, I think the major studios now kind of have to, like, we were joking about Damien Leone. They might having to put the brakes on it.
Don't even have to.
But I think because independent filmmakers have went out of their way to kind of step back from the major studios so that they had the freedom to do what they want, it's forced studios to kind of maybe think, maybe we have to give these people a bit more freedom. Maybe we have to go with the times. Maybe up what we're allowing to get through the censors, you know?
It's true.
So maybe it'll keep going. I mean, I'm curious to see how this works out. You know, I've seen the first
watch it,
two.
Yeah.
And they're fun. You know, they're fun, crazy B movies. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. If it's shooting in January again, you're probably waiting until 2028 to see this.
That's fine though.
Yeah. So I've only put this next story in because we literally spoke about it this week.
We did.
The endless poltergeist directing dispute sparks up again. So I can't remember how this came up, but I remember
you said Toby Hooper poltergeist or some sort of Toby Hooper.
We were watching Pop Culture Jeopardy.
That's what it was.
The question came up about the clown and poltergeist. They answered Toby Hooper's thing, and you were like, Toby Hooper? I thought Spielberg made that, and I kind of made a joke of technically it's Toby Hooper's, but everybody says it was Spielberg because he was kind
more
of
a
over Toby's shoulder the whole time, telling them what to fucking do. It was his baby. So this debate has come up again. It is the debate that simply refuses to stay buried in the backyard. More than 40 years after Poltergeist terrified theater audiences in 1982, the legendary controversy over who actually directed the film, Toby Hooper or Steven Spielberg, has been set ablaze yet again. The latest round of internet warfare was ignited by high-profile music video and film director Joseph Kahn, who took to social media to state bluntly that Poltergeist was completely directed by Steven Spielberg. Kahn went as far as to say that Toby Hooper was effectively just an assistant on his own set, completely stripping him of credit for the movie's brilliant pacing, style, and enduring legacy. And then in came Stretch to save Hooper's ass. The comment instantly drew heavy fire from horror fans and industry veterans alike, most notably genre icon Caroline Williams, who worked closely with Hooper when she starred as Stretch in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. She shot back online to fiercely defend the late director. Williams slammed the continuous erasure of Hooper's contributions, urging people to stop perpetuating a narrative that diminishes a foundational horror author's legacy based on decades-old Hollywood gossip. Now, to be fair, I have heard interviews where Toby Hooper himself has said that Spielberg kind of got in the fucking way a fair bit with this movie and that he should have just directed it himself. You know? While it is well documented fact, Spielberg was heavily involved on set, wrote the story, handled heavy post-production editing, and maintained creative control as a producer due to the strict contract clause that prevented him from officially directing another film while working on
only
E.T.
a technicality.
The actual crew members from the 1982 shoot have spent decades offering widely conflicting accounts. Some claim Hooper ran the set entirely, while others suggest Spielberg was the one looking through the viewfinder and calling the shots. This latest public clash proves that even 4 decades later, the horror community remains completely completely fractured over whose creative DNA truly populates the freaking house.
40 years, my God.
To be fair, visually, watching it,
It's very Spielberg. Very Spielberg, yeah.
You know, it doesn't
Absolutely.
feel like
even the whole "they're here" thing and the way the TV lights up and stuff just feels very very Spielberg. The lighting, everything on that set feels
but then
Spielberg.
Again, I suppose you look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and that's a very bright movie as well. Even though, according to Caroline Williams, during Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 as well, Hooper's hands were pretty much fucking tied by the studio, and that they kept like pulling budget from him and then giving him a little money and pulling budget from him again and telling him to change the story, and kind of forced him to do like this high concept remake of the original.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the structure of even the ending of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, we have to have the dinner scene again.
Oh, yeah.
All the way down to Grandpa with the hammer again. Because that was the only part of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 that kind of I didn't like.
There was no need for the repetition.
Repeating the exact same thing we just saw in Texas One Night, you know?
Yeah.
We don't need to do the exact same dinner sequence again. But at the same time, if you were to look at serial killers and the way they work, they generally repeat the same fucking motions over and over again. That's how they get caught. It's how you're able to identify them.
Yeah.
It's because they have a style that they like to do, and that's how they like to do things, and that's the way they do things. But at the same time, we have watched the Sawyers kill people in various different methods, so the whole grandpa fucking killing someone thing doesn't feel like a very has to happen thing. You know?
No.
But it only happens in the first two. I mean, grandpa is just pretty much sitting in the corner and gets shot up in the third one. In the fourth one, I don't know what you say he's in it. I know there's an old man sitting at the table that gets up.
Could be any old man.
But he looks a lot younger than the ass three grandpas, and he clearly stands up and walks out of the room at the end.
Yeah,
that weird
it does.
But again, that was Kim Henkel's movie, and he wanted to go more conspiracy, fucking deep state conspiracy, fucking NWO kind of fucking thing with it. Right, last piece. Scary Movie shatters franchise records with massive 105 million opening, which is crazy because literally, as soon as it came out, people were shitting all over it. And I was like, oh, man.
That's a scary movie. You take it as you find it. What are you looking for?
I don't get
it. It's a satire movie full of jokes. And yeah, they might be childish jokes at times, but they're fun. It's funny. It's what are you expecting something serious? What's wrong here? Like,
I think in Scary Movie, I mean, 1 and 2 are definitely the best.
Oh, absolutely.
I think the new one, I would debate 4 and 5 are shit.
War of the Worlds one is definitely not.
3 with Charlie Sheen doing signs was good fucking one. The first one without the Wayneses was a good one.
Especially that hat.
Whether it's as
good,
which would you take? Do you think 3 or 6 is a better one? Is better? Where would you rank them?
It's kind of a toss up for me.
I mean, I really enjoy, and the thing about it is that some people were kind of pointing out in line that maybe if you didn't like Scary Movie, it was because you didn't get all the references and hadn't watched enough horror movies.
Could be though.
There are a lot of little fucking things in there.
Like that one in the church. Is that the only reference to Sinners? Because I was like, that has to be Sinners, no? When they're at the door.
Richie
Yeah. No,
Tuesday,
you're right. And they're all standing there. Yeah.
The older sister are standing.
The reason why Tuesday was called Tuesday went over my head for half the movie. I was like, oh my God, I know why she's called Tuesday.
After the fucking opening kill sequence, you're like, is she called Tuesday because of Wednesday? I was like, fuck it, Amy. You should
you see, I knew that she was called Tuesday because of Wednesday. I thought it was just a reference to the TV show Wednesday, and then it clicked to me who actually plays the character in the game.
So, the theatrical comedy genre has spent years on life support, but it just got resurrected by a massive injection of early 2000s nostalgia. Scary Movie 6, officially billed as a franchise reboot. Come on. Rebooting what? I mean, yeah, they ignored Charlie. No, they didn't ignore anything.
But do you not think the fact that they called it franchise reboot is not just a satire of itself of how many reboots we're getting?
Maybe.
I'm
but it's not like
surprised
they
there was
don't
nothing about
acknowledge-
him in it.
Because I mean, I don't give a shit about spoilers here. at this
No.
point. I won't reveal who the killers are because it's like Scary Movie 1. It's multiple.
Yeah.
But I like the way they play up the fucking fact of fuck you can't do this without us, you know. And they attack the younger because of it, and our generation comes out on top, which I love.
Yay! High five.
Yeah. So it absolutely shattered expectations by pulling in a staggering 105.5 million
Ooh.
worldwide,
Roll on,
Which-
Scary Movie 7.
tripled its budget.
Fair fucking play.
And that's in its opening weekend. It easily secured the number 1 spot at the box office, completely outclassing Amazon's MGM's 200 million blockbuster disaster, Master of the Universe.
Go away! I loved it.
That was which limped into second place. You know, we're going to be talking about that in a minute in the recommendations. And yeah, I'll leave it until then because I have I like Master of the Universe for a very specific reason outside of my nostalgia. Domestically, the film cleared 55 million across nearly 3,500 locations, while adding another 50.5 million from 53 international markets. To put those numbers into perspective, this opening weekend outperformed the franchise prior global high set 20 years ago by Scary Movie 3 by a massive 75%. So if we're going by budget, 6 beats 3.
Mm-hmm.
Even crazier, it managed to outgross its primary satirical target, Scream 7, which launched earlier this year at 97 million globally.
Doesn't surprise
Hang
me.
on 1 minute. It doesn't take the piss out of Scream 7 in that movie. It takes the piss out of Scream 5 in that movie. There is no reference to Scream 7 in Scary Movie. It is all Scream 5.
Even with Tiana Taylor at the start.
Scream 6.
Scream 6. There's no Scream 7.
I love that intro. She was awesome.
Oh, she was brilliant. Tiana Taylor is amazing. But I would assume Scary Movie 6 and Scream 7 were probably filming around the same time, and Scream 7 was kept under wraps. Yes.
Yeah.
So how they wouldn't have been
no
able
reference
to
to it.
Yeah.
At all.
No.
So the secret weapon behind the massive box office explosion is the historic creative reunion powering it. This film marks the first time the core original team has worked together on the franchise since Scary Movie 2 back in 2001, after the rights were famously stripped from them by the Weinstein brothers in the early 2000s. They even fucked the Wayneses. Jesus Christ.
I'm happy to see them
Marlon
back.
Shawn
Fucking
and
delighted.
Tina Ivory Waynes returned to write, produce, and produce the script. Crucially, legacy stars Anna Faris, Regina Hall reprised their iconic roles as Cindy Campbell and Brenda Meeks. Studio data indicates that a massive turnout was driven heavily by Gen Z and younger millennial audiences, with a whopping 78% of ticket buyers under the age of 35. Built on a remarkably modest budget of just 30 million, Scary Movie 6 is already sprinting directly towards massive profitability within its first 3 days of release, proving that audiences were starving for an unfiltered old school theatrical parody.
I love a good parody movie, I have to say.
It got shit because people
They got
said-
rid of the Waynes, no?
No. When it first came out, the critic reviews were the first.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yes.
And it got panned by critics, and the reason for it was because the Wayneses had kind of played it up as if, like, you know, this is going to be hardcore, off-color jokes that were going to offend everybody.
Yeah.
And then when the critics didn't leave offended, they were offended that they weren't offended.
Hang on now.
And got angry.
There were 1 or 2 things that didn't offend me, but 1 or 2 things were said, or there was 1 or 2 conversations in the movie that did make me think, how is it going to hit with the younger crowd? But I found funny. It made me laugh. But
I thought it was awesome.
oh no, yeah, I thought it was awesome as well. But I did have that feeling about 1 or 2 things, but I don't understand where the critics are going on about.
There is a reference to Scream 7 in it.
But just 1.
I'm wrong. There is 1 single reference
Stop
to Scream 7
now.
in it.
It's when they. Oh,
The ending.
what's the end? Oh,
They
they
burn it
walk
all
out
down.
and they're burning it all down. They burn down Scream 6 as well. That house is on fire, is it not?
No. Scream 7 is when they burn it all down. So that's the one reference to Scream 7.
Why did I think there was a fire at the end of Scream 6?
Because no, that's Scream 5. Scream 6 they're in New York. It does the shrine to Ghostface. I think that there's smoke.
Sorry,
there.
I'm thinking of Scream 5. Yeah, I'm thinking of Scream 5.
There's a little. Amber's setting fire in that. In Scream 6, you are right. There is fire. Because I remember there's being smoke while Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera are fighting the tree Ghostface.
Yeah, I knew it.
So yeah, I will watch anything the Wayans is doing.
Absolutely anything.
I have loved the Wayans since I was a child. The Wayans Brothers TV show. My Wife and Kids. I mean, you and me have watched In Living Color since then. Yeah. I mean, which launched Jim Carrey, fucking
was Jamie Foxx in that
Jamie
one?
Foxx, yeah. I mean, and even before I knew the male Wayneses, Kim Wayne on LL Cool J's In the House was fucking hilarious. She was like LL Cool J's stalker,
and she was back in Scream 7. No, not Scream 7. Scary Movie 6.
That's the only Scary Movie.
I know, but I'm saying she's back on our screens.
I think last time I saw her in one of their movies, I might be wrong. I can't remember. I mean, she might have been a background role in one or two of the movies, but Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. She's at the start of that.
I love saying that. I know you love saying the full name of it.
Yeah, I do.
She's in the first Scary Movie.
You have to call it Don't Be a Menace, but you got to say the whole thing.
You do. Hello, Down Dirty Shame. She's in. I've never seen that one though.
What's exciting here as well is that this doing well means that we're opening up the world to the Wayneses again.
That's true.
And they've already stated themselves that the idea of a White Chicks 2 was only going to happen if Scary Movie did well.
Scary Movies aren't doing well, guys.
So even though we got a little bit of White Chicks.
We did get White Chicks in with that.
There was a White Chicks return in Scary Movie.
Yep.
So obviously that's higher on our recommendation list. Go check out Scary Movie. It is fucking worth it. It was fucking class. So we're going to do recommendations. We're going to talk about some of the movies we've watched in. I've kept it short because we've watched a lot in the last month.
We've watched a lot.
So I just kept it a bit short. I mean, obviously we've just talked about Scary Movie.
Mm-hmm.
Face the Death. I think if you watch Real Talk with the Doctor on Patreon, you'll see what we have to say about that. The one thing I will say about Face the Death that I really liked was that it did get rid of the old style.
I love the old style.
Look, I understand that people were shocked by it at the time and that it caught people off guard and all that stuff. But we've already established I do not like seeing real pain. And
no, you
death,
don't.
And I do not like seeing it on animals.
No, the monkey is disturbing. That's real.
And the dogs and the fucking...
But the monkey one was definitely real, wasn't it? I don't know about the dogs and the rest of them. The monkey one, as far as I know, was 100%. Animal death is real on that, isn't it?
All the claimed real death in the movies were the animals.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know all the animal deaths were real. I knew the monkey one was.
And I've looked into the Face of Death 2 and all this kind of shit. And apparently it's just really good editing in the ways where they kind of show you like news footage, but then like close-ups of news. Like there's like surgical footage in there that are close-ups.
Yeah.
And then when they zoom out, it's like faked, but it's the way they chop and change things to make it look realistic.
Yeah.
But I liked this idea. It was taking something bad and making something good out of something new out of it. And this idea of the serial killer who's reenacting what he saw in Faces of Death was fucking brilliant. And what's his name?
Dacre Montgomery.
Yeah, Dacre Montgomery. Dacre, fucking hell, what a name. Dacre Montgomery.
I think maybe it's Dacre as in acre with a D instead of daycare where you send your kids.
Daycare.
Is it daycare?
Something like that.
Whoa. I thought it was going to be daiquiri when I first saw it. Like strawberry daiquiri or something.
Daiquiri for the first fucking drafted and like looked it up and then I was like, oh shit, Dacre. Okay. He was brilliant.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I would like to see him play as Psycho more often.
He plays Unhinged well.
Very well.
As we saw in Stranger Things.
He makes Unhinged strangely attractive.
In Faces of Death, really?
Well, no, when he gets a bit unhinged in Stranger Things.
To be fair, he plays a sexy character in Stranger Things. All the older women and all that stuff are even chasing him.
He is kind of strangely attractive, though, in Faces of Death as well. Not bad.
Oh, we'll have to watch Power Rangers again and see how you feel about the Red Ranger by the end of it.
Probably come out and go, Red Ranger is strangely attractive when he's unhinged.
Also, we watch Hokum.
Yes,
which is fucking what's his name? Fucking
Oh my God. Why does this happen every time? Every fucking time,
Irish
Josh.
guy. Won't come out of my mouth. Fuck, and I literally watched Oddity
Oh,
as
it
well.
begins with a
along with it
D.
again. I know it begins with a D, which is pissing me off even more.
Damien McCarthy.
McCarthy fucking couldn't be more Irish. But great fucking little movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love about his movies are? It does this thing, and I noticed it with a lot of horror movies lately, is that they're making these movies kind of like timeless, where you don't know where it's set, when it's set. Because there's no technology.
Mhm.
There is a phone in there once or twice. A mobile.
Same in Oddity.
Once or twice.
And a camera.
But not very much. There's
No.
never TVs. There's never like smartphones constantly in the picture. There's never, I suppose, Oddity at the end, there you do see the smartphone pretty much.
Yeah, and the camera as well. When she's going through the pictures, it's like a substantial camera.
Yeah, but it's not like a fucking brand.
It could be from 10 years ago. Yeah.
But I do like that, and especially Hokum. It is fucking virtually impossible to figure out where this actually lands in a time. It could be anywhere from the 70s to fucking now. You know? Even the
thought
cars
that
are all old looking, like, you know?
Do you know that's not a rabbit man? It's a donkey. It's a donkey face. It's a donkey
rabbit
man.
that keeps coming through all the movies.
Apparently, that's a donkey.
Rabbit, one of them. In one of the movies.
Oh no! I mean the face, the one with the big eyes.
Oh yeah. But if you look in the background
of Odyssey, isn't there? No, there. I think it's sitting on her shelf.
In it was on the shelf. In Oddity, it was somewhere else as well.
Yeah, when she walks into the room. And the chest is there, and then it's sitting on a shelf because it's in her shop in the back room where the chest is.
Is it not in fucking Caveat?
Caveat, I think so. I think we've linked all that, and then there's the isn't there like a clapping monkey as well? I know that's that other movie as well. But I think this is when they go into her shop in Odyssey. She holds up something, and it's like a callback to the last movie. It's not the bell. Or she says there's like a throwaway comment of that she was sent this thing, and I think it's something from Caveat. I think I could be wrong in saying that.
I've only seen Caveat once, so I'll have to.
But when we were watching Oddity there a few weeks ago, it kind of clicked to me. Yeah.
But I mean, like, all these movies, they have this nice tone about it, where you know it's his universe, you know it's his world, and they all have this kind of the same kind of arc in all of his movies. You know, they all kind of go the same direction. In a kind of in a way that doesn't feel repetitive. Oh. You know, they're different every time. This one really fucking, it will get you. It'll crawl up you and fucking make you feel uneasy the whole fucking time you're watching it. I can't remember his name in real life, but Fran from
from Love Hate. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Absolutely great. I mean, I loved his little fucking character arc in it and everything. It's really fucking good. It's really enjoyable. But even down to the idea of him having like this weird kind of fucking person involved in the story. Like obviously you had the one-eyed guy Olin in Oddity, and then there's the dude living in the fucking woods taking fucking drugs and fucking drinking. And he's kind of that weird character. And if you're from Ireland, you'll know that we have loads of those characters like sprawled all over the place. That isn't like a fucking like decision he made. That's true, especially back in like the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s kind of time. Before the internet, there was a lot of these weird people that just used randomly walk around the place, and we weren't even afraid of them.
No.
A lot of time, kids would take the piss out of them and they chase you. You know? It was just ridiculous. So it's really interesting. I'd love to talk to him someday, and especially just because I feel like we could relate and kind of be like, you know, maybe kind of dig a little deeper into like the Irishness of the Irish kind of things that he puts in there that kind of really
the Irish colloquialisms.
They're just a little odd.
Do you know what I love is his rhyme or his naming pattern? I love the one word kind of caveat added. They're kind of unsettling words, like, but the fact that it's just the one word, like, you know, for every
weird
one. Hokum. It means I'm pretty sure it's in Macbeth somewhere. Hang on, now there's a really famous quote.
I've heard it before.
I know, but it's cracking me up.
But it does fall in line with Caveat, Oddity, Hokum. They're very kind of similar kind of style, and but again, it's shot very much like his last two movies. Very similar in tone and presentation and feel. it does feel like you're still in the same universe the entire time you're watching.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it's a fun watch, and it's maybe it's a pride thing as well with Irish to see these Irish fucking horror movies coming out and being heavy hitters, being big fucking movies. You know, they're not just small little side fucking little Irish horror movies. They're like, these are fucking movies, man. These are classics. These are going to be respected over fucking decades, generations are going to watch these movies. And I'm just proud to see that coming out of our country and coming out of our little fucking community, because we're a very small country and it's cool to fucking see these.
It is fucking cool to see them coming. Yeah.
We watched Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Sure did. Another Irishman.
Which basically, I don't know what they're going to do with a new Exorcist, because they essentially just made the new... It's like they took The Exorcist, took a bit of fucking Evil Dead, mixed it in together, and then said, here you go, here's a new Mummy.
It was very Evil Dead in parts.
Oh, yeah. With the
especially
way
the grandmother.
Family were all getting affected by something, and it felt very Deadite like. But the girl herself felt very Exorcist.
Yeah.
Original Exorcist. So I don't know, which makes me curious as to what Mike Flanagan might have coming for us in the next Exorcist. I mean, for the first time in a long time, I'm happy to see a new Exorcist coming, because it's Mike Flanagan making The Exorcist, and he is another guy who just
can do no wrong in my eyes.
A very Irish name.
You got
has a very Irish head in him.
Looks so Irish.
So I mean,
it's another man I'd like to talk to.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, that guy's been knocking out banger after banger after banger after banger for fucking how long?
Yeah.
You give him a Stephen King fucking book and just send him on his way.
I need another TV show from him though, so it lasts longer. That's my problem with some of these things. I just need the TV show, because
that was The Haunting of Hill House was kind of our introduction to him.
Fucking loved it. And then The Haunting of Bly Manor, that was something else. I fucking loved that as well. The Faceless Woman was absolutely terrifying.
No, we also have been we talked about I Hate Found Footage earlier on. Like I said, I'm going to get deeper into that on Real Talk this week, and hopefully have a chat with Mike Rock in the next couple of weeks. But feels like a lot of puppets are showing up in our horror.
Yeah.
Because we also watched The Fuzzies and Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round.
Yes.
Now the Fuzzies, I mean, for what, it was obviously a low budget job. Fuzzies. And for what they had, it was good. Even though you and me both did say that the two main actors, there was three actors in it, and two of them felt like they had just come off a porn set. Like they were constantly waiting to start fucking. It was like, all right, we've done our lines. When do we start?
There was something when they were in that house and they said they're going into one room, and he was like, yeah, great idea. And I was like, oh, here comes the porn groove music.
And there was that weird scene in it where they literally just sat down and they were having a meeting and discussed their career trajectory. It's like, how's your job going? My job's going right. I got a promotion. How's your job going? And then nothing happens. It was like, whoa, okay.
And I was expecting something to happen during that. I think it might have been to make their characters more relatable or to give them a bit of personality, but I think there's other ways to go about that.
I enjoyed the movie.
The
pacing was a little funny at times, where it did feel a little like it was dragging at certain points where things were going a little too slow and nothing was happening. But when it did happen, it was fun. It was crazy. And it's still, anything with that childlike fucking creepiness about it is going to get under your skin.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round really hit.
Wow. I fell asleep for the very end of it and it killed me, but my God, was that trippy.
It was a trip. It was definitely, I knew before we even threw it on, I was like, I got to smoke a joint before this one. We sparked up, threw it on, and I was not disappointed. It is, imagine Mr. Rogers accidentally walked into Pee Wee Herman's fucking world and took acid.
Yeah. I'm very confused, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I mean, I from what I can tell, the movie's definitely got something to do with. I mean, it felt like, from someone who witnessed and is now losing their own memory. What's the thing when you lose your memory?
Alzheimer's. Do you think there could have been a bit of PTSD kind of there as well, like repressed memories and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think repressed memories, maybe. I felt, but again, because I had seen how Alzheimer's works.
Yeah.
Because I was around her a lot, and I spent a lot of time with her while she had Alzheimer's, was going through it. And you see how it works. I got a lot of that out of it. But yeah, definitely PTSD with all the flashbacks and trying to put things together and the shit with his mother and all that kind of stuff. But Monkey is extremely unsettling, especially with these dirty human hands.
I didn't like that.
And the other
The
character,
weasel. Was it a weasel with the big eyes? He was the one that creeps me out the most.
oh, the actual fully grown man.
Yeah. I didn't like that.
Uh,
And I liked it, but I didn't like that.
It's
Scared me.
weird when you see a puppet that's fully grown. It's the same we were watching Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Yeah, but one of those
And-
puppets put up a hand as well at one stage and had a real hand, and that scared the life out of me as well. I don't
The
like
red
that.
guy can be creepy, alright.
I like
because
him.
he's
I want to hug off
I
him.
like him.
Yeah.
But because he's so tall compared to everyone else,
Yeah.
he kind of creeps me a little bit. But Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round is definitely one to go check out. It's
Definitely,
fast as you fucking can. It's a weird trip for about an hour and a half, but it's fun. And it's interesting. I mean, there's even one scene where the dude makes a puppet out of his knee.
Oh yeah, that was class,
And
but it was.
It just shows you how like such a simple idea can be so fucked up and unsettling if it's done in the right fucking way.
Mhm.
I mean, that movie couldn't have cost that much to make.
No, not at all.
You know,
In a good way.
in a sense of
Yeah.
like, you know, like comparing it to other bigger budget movies. But what they did with such a small space and a small amount of people involved, it was I rate it really highly. It's a really good fucking movie. I actually hope that they eventually come back with more kind of. Well, I'm just looking forward to see what that director has down the pipeline. Like if this is number one, let's see what comes next. I mean, it'll be interesting. Maybe another director that I might try and get in contact with and see if I can get him on the show at some fucking point.
Okay.
Because I think that would be a fun talk. Because I find like childhood puppets in a horror situation creeps the shit out of me. I've said that a few
Yeah, I
times.
can
I
see
don't
that.
like that.
Yeah.
The dead eyes, the something so innocent suddenly turning on everybody. You know, something for kids, and now suddenly it's turning on you. I don't like it.
Yeah. Nobody does, I think.
We're not going to talk about that. I was going to get into the Mandalorian and Grogu, but we might leave that till next week, considering what we have coming up next week. Masters of the Universe. I am fucking surprised that didn't do well. I thought that they handled the tone of it really fucking well, in the sense of
It wasn't
didn't
too
take itself
childish and it wasn't
seriously.
too adult though either. Like it was
No.
a nice right in the middle. Like
And it didn't take itself too
No, it didn't.
seriously. It didn't go in trying to be an epic. It pokes fun at itself constantly. Do you know?
it does, yeah.
It really pokes fun at the idea of what He-Man is and the whole fucking story. Skeletor like fucking making these grand statements to silence and then going, you're supposed to react to that. And so I was like, this is fucking funny.
Yeah, it was
You know,
good,
it's really silly funny. It's really nostalgic, pure 80s. You could tell that they were trying to be Flash Gordon, even with the Queen music playing at one point.
yeah.
And Princess of the Universe. I was like, this is fucking great. But it's just fun. It's a family-friendly. Everybody can sit down and watch it together and enjoy it and have fun with it. And, you know, and I was having fun telling the boys about, like, all the characters and who's missing and who they could see in the next one, if there is a next one.
Yeah.
And no, maybe critically it did bad, but I heard, like, money-wise, I think it got
Well,
over
it came in
the line.
second after, yeah, I suppose.
So, yeah, I was going to talk about the Monsters as well because I watched a bunch of their movies, but we're going to leave that for this week because we're kind of running a bit long. And we were going... We'll talk about this briefly, but I want to kind of save most of this for Monday. On Plain Slay with Amy Rose on Twitch from 10 to 12 and on Patreon from 10 till 1. You get an extra hour if you come over to Patreon. The first 2 hours free on Patreon. The last hour is for paid only. God only knows what we might say in that last hour. It'll be dirty. Anyway, I'll be getting my tits out for that last hour.
Be shaking them all.
So, Amy convinced me to watch Interview with the Vampire this week.
That I did.
So in recommendations, we're going to go with Interview with the Vampire for a TV show. I am not a big Tom Cruise fan. I do not like Tom Cruise personally. I don't like him in real life. I don't think he's a very nice person, so I don't really watch a lot of his movies. I can name right now what movies I like by Tom Cruise. Minority Report, Made in America. That's it. That's
yeah, but he's not in the TV show, so you're fine.
Exactly. Do you know what because you were kind of saying it to me, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, it might be interesting because obviously the first thought that popped into my head, because I knew what the concept was. I watched the original with you once. I knew that it was a journalist interviewing a vampire, and considering what we're doing next week on the show and the way I'm doing that, I was like, well, there's no reason we can't eventually do this subject.
Yeah.
There's no reason we can't cover this as this crazy ass journalist who claims to have interviewed a vampire, and this is what he says the story is. So I sat down. I said, "Well, I'll watch it with you," and
Pleasantly surprised.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the constant kind of fucking. What caught me was because for the first first season and the majority of the second season, I'm like, what a prick. That sucks. I can't wait to see that Homelander acting bitch get his fucking comeuppance.
But then
And then we get to the end of season 2 and I'm like, you bastard, Emma.
Yeah. Yeah.
You fucking small-mouthed
he
cunt.
stays quiet the whole time. Do you know, he just...
Armand's got the tiniest little mouth I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, you little asshole.
He's such a shit spreader for the size of his mouth.
I enjoy the shit on it. I enjoy it. But what sold me on watching that with you as well was the guy playing Louis. I like him.
Yeah, I like him. I like
him as an actor. Yeah. So I was like, I'll give this a shot. Let's watch it. And I loved the fact that every time you thought you knew who to hate, they shifted the blame onto someone else. So there was times where you hate Lestat, then there was times where you hate Louis, then there were times where you barely hate Louis.
I never really hated him. I didn't think he thought he was his own worst enemy at times.
Overreacting.
Yeah.
Chill out, you know? And then there's a lot of the time where I just hate Armand. and I just hate, and then there was times where I hated the fucking dude interviewing him. I can't remember his name. It's
Holy shit! Why is that gone from me?
Because who fucking remembers the interviewer?
Well, he's a big character now.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, it just felt like every time I thought I knew what the story was, they changed the fucking
Daniel Malloy.
I knew it was
they call him Malloy sometimes.
Malloy, yeah. But that's what I really enjoyed about it. It was just the fact that every time I thought I knew what was happening, there was a twist in the story. There was a turn in the story. Every time you thought you knew who to trust, everything switched. Yeah. I do find it hilarious that the only straight fucking vampire in the whole show was the campus Santiago dude fucking running, like, you know, the campus one, the one that looks the gayest, he's straight. Everyone else gay.
No, they're fluid. Well, I think Louis is gay. Lestat is fluid.
Everybody else, let's get gay.
I think Lestat just likes sex.
You've been living for 170 years. Come on, you're eventually going to try everything. I mean, even Charlie Sheen said it. He's like, fucking...
What, 20 something?
I've been doing this for so long that I had to check the other side of the menu.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I know we're into, like, fucking the Vampire Lestat, season 3, with him being a rock star, and suddenly he's, like, one of my favorite fucking characters.
Yeah.
For someone who was like, I want to punch him in the face.
I love his fucking swagger. That fucking hotel fight, that first episode is absolutely fucking fantastic, and I can't wait for tonight.
But I mean, like, for the whole first season, I just fucking wanted to see him fucking get it. I hate him. I hate his face. I hate his potent. I hate his thing. But then you stop and you realize, this is Louis' side of the story. This is all one fucking person telling you what happened. This is one person's memory, which is interesting.
Very curated memory at that.
Which is the way things are told. It's like they say, the victor makes history, tells the history. You know, the loser doesn't get to tell their side of the story.
He does, but he also doesn't, because Armand is fucked with his head, with his memory so fucking much. But again, oh my God.
It's all about, especially over, you know yourself, if something happened next week and you and me were talking about it this week, what actually happened last week and what we're talking about this week would have some small variation.
Oh yeah, there are probably about 10 other people in the room.
So what happened 100 years ago to what happened today, there's going to be a lot of fucking difference between the way you tell that story, because you'll have told that story and rehearsed that story and tweaked that story over generations.
And that's what Malloy gets at when he was like, was it raining that night? You know, when he meets the other soldier and Louis was like, was it raining that night? And then he pictures it then rain and he was like, maybe it was raining that night. And then when Lestat reads the book, in first episode, actually season 3, and he was like, it was raining that night. But it's one of my favorite stories.
It's fucking really good. TV show is really, really good. And then I watched Queen of the Damned for the first time, And like I said to you, because you were kind of always on to me, like, let's watch Queen of the Damned. And I was like, I don't want to watch Queen of the Damned. And
It's
then,
so nostalgic for me.
but to be fair, if I had watched Queen of the Damned before I had watched the TV
You wouldn't
show,
have watched the TV show.
I wouldn't have known who anyone was.
Yeah.
Because when you put on the Brad Pitt fucking Tom Cruise version of it for me, I didn't pay full attention. I paid half attention.
Yeah.
It was too gothic romance for me to be fucking interested.
And like I said, they don't get much of a story in the can't like you.
Whereas there's action in the TV show.
There is.
They are fighting constantly. They're beating the shit out of each other. They're throwing each other through fucking walls, and it gets fucking crazy. So, you know, it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more interesting. The characters are deeper.
Lestat's whole stories. I love his.
We were brought up in the 90s with mega blockbuster fucking actors. There was like a group of actors who were in everything.
Yeah.
You know, and you kind of got used to seeing them constantly. So them in that role didn't really fucking... It's like I couldn't separate Brad Pitt from Louis and Lestat from Tom Cruise.
But it's the same reason why cast Mel Gibson as fucking Braveheart, because the studio said you can't make the movie unless you have Mel Gibson. The studios wanted Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. This is who you have to make it with.
But I couldn't separate the celebrity from the character.
Yeah.
Whereas watching TV show, I saw them as characters and characters alone.
Because they're not huge.
To be fair, I think actors are better these days than they were in the 90s. 90s movies and acting was a little cheesier, a little hammier. Early 2000s acting, shite.
It feels like a lot more people might go to college now and study acting and study drama and take it real seriously. That's the way it comes across, because parts of Interview with the Vampire and parts of Queen of the Damned, the acting is pretty cheesy, right? And I always put it down to, what do you do with a vampire character? And now you see what Sam Reed and, oh my God, I can't remember Louis' character, Grey Worm, what his name is. You see what they're doing with the characters, and there's not an ounce of fucking cheese in it. And it's because the craft was being...
And that's why I enjoyed watching Queen of the Damned, because I knew who everyone was going in.
Yeah.
I didn't. There was no guesswork there. I didn't have to. Otherwise, it would have just been a cheesy vampire movie where this guy rises from the grave, becomes a new metal fucking star, and suddenly Aaliyah's walking around the place killing everybody. Like,
it jumps very fast between his story and her slaughtering everyone.
Which is why I'm looking forward to seeing it play out in the TV show, because it'll be slow, it'll be methodical, it'll happen over it.
I'd love to say this is what should happen, but there are their own changes in it, like, so it does keep you guessing again. Like,
you know yourself, because they got 2 seasons out of Interview with the Vampire. You know that Vampire Lestat's going to be at least 1 full season of a story before they move on to Queen of the Damned, or you're going to get a season or 2 out of that before they move on to... And they've already fucking... The 5th book has already gotten a fucking season order. So, I mean, we know we're going to see Lestat with Talk to Satan at some stage. Moloch.
Memnoch. I am
Moloch
just really thankful, considering how much I love this, that it's not Netflix.
Okay, won't get cancelled.
Yeah, after 2 seasons. Right, lads, we've got to pay you too much for season 3, so
like
see you later.
I said, the fact that season 3 is getting so much traction online, and women especially are going fucking crazy for Lestat on fucking stage. I think that season 4 is almost a lock already. I would guess. I put it this way: I liked it so much that I downloaded the first 5 books.
Oh my God! I think I have them upstairs, Josh.
So I'm going to read it. Yeah, but you know I prefer to read on my tablet, because it just I always have my tablet.
I need to have it in my hands.
But I can't carry a book everywhere.
Sorry, I forget you're a man and you don't have a handbag.
Yeah. I got pockets, and I got a tablet that's big enough to fit in my back pocket.
Substantial pockets, though, for your tablet.
Yeah, but if I fill those pockets, my pants start to fall down. Right? I wear baggy jeans, I wear baggy pants. They don't stay up. So yeah, I mean, I would say main recommendations this week is go check out Hokum, Faces of Death, Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round. I would say go check out I Hate Found Footage, but I don't actually think it's been released yet.
We said go check it out when it is released.
Yeah. Masters of the Universe. Go give it a chance. It's worth it.
Good. Especially for people our age.
Scary Movie 6, especially for people our age. Again, you grew up on Scary Movie. This is a return to form. This is a return of Shorty. It's a return of Ray. It's a return of Brenda. It's a return of fucking everybody. It's great. It fucking really, it does it. It does a great job. What I would say is, before you watch it, maybe look at a list of movies it takes the piss out of, and go watch those movies first, because you get a lot more out of it. I think
It's a great advertising strategy for horror movies, isn't it?
Yeah. I think a lot of like I think like there's a lot of people like that, even like the stuff, the references to Ma would have went over their head.
Brenda, I liked that.
And there was a lot of those quietly pushed in here and there. Like they never really.
Was
their
him
hair gives it
referenced?
away. Like what?
Was him referenced? I don't think it was, and that surprised me.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, it's hard for me to remember every fucking.
I don't think, because I was watching out for it, because I'm going into the movie, I was like, surely at some point
Marlon's in the fucking.
That's
movie.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I thought there'd be at least a throwaway reference to him, and there wasn't.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to take the
Maybe he didn't want to. Yeah, maybe that.
And then when it comes to TV, check out Interview with the Vampire, which has now been renamed The Vampire Lestat for the 3rd season. It is well worth the fucking watch, and I'm saying that to all you manly men out there too.
Absolutely, I'm going to start it again for the 3rd time next week.
I mean, it's gay from start to finish. There's no girls in this at all.
Yes, there is. You get boobs.
Oh, there is. There's boobs in the 1st season. There for like a minute before the 2 guys start riding each other after they knock her out.
Pretty sure there's boobs in the 2nd season before they kill her on stage. No, they don't do that in the movie. Her top just.
Some very homophobic saying that. I actually don't give a shit about the gay. I enjoyed it. I was
love
very
the
invested
passion in their relationship.
I'm invested in their story.
Yeah.
I mean, like at the end when they kind of like start to kind of realize what's going on and they talk again. When we go into season 3 and they're not back together, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was the exact same. But that helped though when he had him pulled up. What pissed me off was I thought that mommy was Louis.
Yeah, but see, I knew that wasn't going to be him.
At the very end, when the door opened, I knew it wasn't going to be him. But the text messages.
No, I guessed early on.
That didn't click with me. That didn't click with me.
I knew we were looking at someone else there.
It broke my heart though when they were talking about Claudia at the end. The end of the last episode, and that's where you see Lestat isn't the awful fucker you think he is. He has that.
But I think like the story arc there is maybe that Louis needs to be alone for a while.
Of course he does. He said it to him. He said it to him at the end of season 2 that he's not. He's happy kind of being himself. Yeah.
Toxic-ish relationships and
he cannot. He has to take some of the blame for the first relationship.
Yeah, but it was still a toxic.
It was still a toxic relationship, but Armando was.
At the end, he literally apologizes to him and says, "You were right. I saw this as a curse. It was a gift you gave me." And it's a great TV show. It's really worth watching. Keep it going. It's worth watching. Yes. And Queen of the Damned is it's cheesy at times.
The music's good.
And the dude playing Lestat, he's a bit young, but he
Stuart Townsend.
You know he's Lestat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got the presence for it. He knows what he's doing. A bit more age probably would have helped.
I think my only thing with him is 90s and 90s vampires had a very specific way of holding their faces. Do you know that kind of?
The thing about it, because I was surprised, was how much of the TV show took from Queen of the Damned, even down to like the way the vampires burned and disintegrated. You know?
Yeah.
I know, like Buffy, they hit them saying they go, but it's a very slow kind of peeling.
Queen of the Damned actually took that from Interview with the Vampire.
So I can't remember the original.
You can't remember. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just, as in, I can see what you're saying, but that was originally general, from
even just the way even Lestat moves and talks. They really leaned into it, because I don't think Lestat is the same as Tom Cruise.
No, he's not. He's not. Tom Cruise isn't arrogant enough or something. Knows how to do it. But even Brad Pitt's reactions at times in that movie, like I told you earlier on.
And I like the way they kind of meshed that original interview into this new story to make it modern.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like the movie could still have happened and we're still here.
Except the movie is set at the end of the 80s, start of the 90s.
Yeah.
Whereas his interview then in the TV show is the 70s.
Yeah.
But I liked that they fleshed out his character more as well.
Yeah.
Malloy's.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's really good. I would definitely suggest it. Definitely give it a watch. I'm still on the fence as to whether I want to watch this Mayfair Witches stuff. I'll give the first couple of episodes a try and see where we're going.
I don't think I think you'd like it in the sense that parts of it are quite unsettling.
I will say one thing: if you are coming over to watch, if you're interested to hear more about it, because this is an interesting point, And it's a little teaser to bring you over to Play and Slay on Monday.
Lestat.
Play and Slay on Monday. After we watch, because I'm a little, like when we watch something like this, I can't help myself but to start digging deeper.
Yeah.
And my first instinctive thing was, because it was like an interview with a vampire, I was like,
that was everybody's first instinct when the book came out was, is this real?
I went straight online and I was like, is there anyone in history who has claimed to be a vampire and it was never proven that they weren't? And suddenly I fell into this story of a guy, which the story is literally Lestat's story. There is a real life foundation for Lestat's story.
Sure is.
All the way up to like sightings in modern time. And we're going to talk about that in Play and Slay in detail. We're going to go for, we're going to talk about why, because you're going to cover it on Mini Monsters earlier that day.
I am.
And we're going to get a bit, dig a little deeper. While Bunny's playing her game here, I keep calling you by your fucking government name here. We're going to get a certain cut.
Bags over heads, Josh. Yeah, I don't look like
you
gaming.
caught me my government.
Fuck!
Dropping the gimmick, man.
Are you using your VPN?
Anyway. While you're playing the video game, I'm going to do the research and I am going to hunt this guy down and we are going to...
offer him our next?
Yes. And we will be doing this forever. You're going to listen to us talk about every horror movie that's ever happened in the history of time.
For us,
ever
but it's a curse
and ever
for
and ever. So check that out Monday on Twitch for the first 2 hours, or you could just go to Patreon and watch all 3 hours, with the last hour being behind the €5 paywall. $5 a month, which ain't a lot of money. So we'll be doing that from 10 to 1. We'll also have Mini Monsters earlier that day. Tuesday we'll have Real Talk. Wednesday, It's Alive. Thursday, It's Alive Action. Friday, the Friday Night Freak Show. Saturday, the Horrorverse Headlines. And Sunday, you get to look at this gorgeous woman over here. That's it. I think we're done. We will be back next week with more tales from the Horrorverse. See you all then. Same Alive Lifetime. Same Horrorverse channel. Okay, love you.
Bye.